All right, we are live on Bear Sheath Farm with your host, Levite Khan. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we will be reading Leviticus chapters 13 through 18. I'll do a couple of comedy videos after that, and then I want to do a more serious one from Benny Johnson about how the elites get treated differently. Deb, can you grab me my trusty hat?
And welcome to day 21 of the Bible study reading. By the way, before we get started, I just want to bring a thanks from the Father. That he used an individual that helped us out, that we, within the next 4 days, shall be having another fan.
Yes.
Hallelujah, blessed be.
All right. Yes. Special blessings to the person who the Father worked through.
Amen.
Let me take a sip here of my tea.
And I may have to run back there with the fan we have soon.
And welcome and shalom to Wilfred Witzke. Still getting these things taken care of. Yeah. Alrighty. Oops. Let's see this. Okay. All right. Something happened here. I don't understand what's going on. There we are. All right. There we are. Okay, Carolyn, she put a thumbs up on the Facebook. Hopefully she'll make it. Anyway, let's not spend a whole lot of time here shooting the breeze until we're done. We have 59 verses in Leviticus chapter 13, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this rocking. All right. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh arising a scab or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons, the priests. And the priest shall look on the plague of the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the seventh day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the seventh day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. Okay, before going to verse 7, just they didn't want diseases being spread. Leprosy to this day will spread very quickly. So that's one of the concerns out of many, I think, out of a lot of us, when all those illegal aliens were let in. Anywhere from 10,000 to 15,000 a day during the Biden-Harris administration. We don't know what they have, as well as don't know their criminal backgrounds or not. But a lot of old diseases that America was able to get rid of at one time, or at least keep them down in control. Some of them have begun to rise up yet. Now, where leprosy's at with that, I don't know. But when you think about it, there was also a separate element to this as well back then. There was some kind of sin in their life too, evidently, from what I know of history, reading outside of the canon with the Israelites, and because we'll get into it reading too, or they had to run around and pronounce unclean, unclean. They dealt with sin very quickly, very harshly, and they dealt with it fast. Welcome and shalom to Craig Hayden. All right, verse 7. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him. And behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that hath the plague from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, go away. Excuse me, Goku's starting to bother me here. Okay. Then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. But when raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean, and the priest shall see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean, for the raw flesh is unclean. It is a leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again and be changed unto white, he shall come unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. He is clean. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil, and is healed. And in the place of the boil there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be showed to the priest. And if, when the priest seeth it, behold, it be in sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. But if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning in the quick flesh, that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair and the bright spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burning. And the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry skull, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. Before I go on to verse 31, welcome and shalom to Sister Carrie of Yahuwah, 8601. Yep, glad you're here. Verse 31. And as the priest look on the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut him up that hath the plague of the skull 7 days. And on the 7th day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the skull spread hair, and if the skull spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the skull be not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the skull shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut him up that hath the skull 7 days more. And on the 7th day the priest shall look on the skull, and behold, if the skull be not spread in the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the skull spread much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the skull be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair, he is unclean. But if the skull be in his sight at a stay, and that there is black hair growing up therein, the skull is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. If a man also or a woman have on the skin or their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that groweth in the skin, he is clean. And the man whose hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet is he clean. And he that hath his hair fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, his forehead bald, yet is he clean. And if there be in the bald head, a bald forehead, a white reddish sore, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald head or his bald forehead. And then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head or in his bald forehead, as leprosy appeareth on the skin of his flesh, of the flesh, he is a leprous man, he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean, his plague is in his head. And the leper whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare, and he shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean. And they have to do it pretty loudly, not just like I did it. Especially when you have commas in the English language or whatever Bible translation. Like even when I talk about Lord, comma, Lord, they're screaming at basically probably from the top of their lungs in desperation. Same thing here. They're having to make it very clear so everybody hears and stays away from them, and they're separated from the population. All right, verse 46. All the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled, he is unclean. He shall dwell alone, without the camp shall his habitation be. The garment also that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it be a woolen garment or a linen garment, whether it be in the warp or woof, of linen or of woolen, whether in a skin or in anything made of skin, and if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the warp or in the woof or in anything of skin, it is the plague of leprosy, it shall be showed unto the priest. And the priest shall look upon the plague, and shut up it that hath the plague 7 days. And he shall look on the plague on the seventh day. If the plague be spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in a skin, or in any work that is made of skin, the plague is a fretting leprosy, it is unclean. He shall therefore burn that garment, whether warp or woof, in woolen or in linen, or anything of skin wherein the plague is, for it is a fretting leprosy. It shall be burnt in the fire. And if the priest shall look, and behold, the plague be not spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything of skin, then the priest shall command that they wash the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on the plague after that it is washed. And behold, if the plague have not changed its color, and the plague be not spread, it is unclean. Thou shalt burn it in the fire. It is spread inward, whether it be bare within or without. And if the priest look, and behold, the plague be somewhat dark after the washing of it, then he shall rend it out of the garment, or out of the skin, or out of the warp, or out of the woof. And if it appears still in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything of skin, it is a spreading plague. Thou shalt burn that wherein the plague is with fire. And the garment, either warp or woof, or whatsoever thing of skin it be, which thou shalt watch, if the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the second time, and shall be clean. This is the law of the plague of leprosy in a garment of woolen or linen, either in the warp or woof, or anything of skins, to pronounce it clean, or to pronounce it unclean. And that's all 59 verses of Leviticus chapter 13. All right. I'm just checking side chat. We still have 5 more chapters to go through. Okay, everything's looking good. Anyway. And this is going to be, for the Bible anyway, a fairly long chapter, 57 verses of chapter 14. So let's keep this moving. Chapter 14. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest, And the priest shall go forth out of the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. As for the living bird, he shall take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and shall dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into the open field. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shave off all his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. And after that he shall come into the camp, and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. In other words, he'll wait, simply put. But it shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all his hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, even all his hair he shall shave off, and he shall wash his clothes. Also he shall wash his flesh in water, and he shall be clean. And on the 8th day, we're getting into the 8th day again, another symbol, ladies and gentlemen. Verse 10, and on the 8th day he shall take 2 he-lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3/10 deals of fine flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. And the priest that maketh him clean shall present the man that is to be made clean, and those things before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall take 1 he-lamb, and offer him for a trespass offering in the log of oil, and weigh them for a wave offering before the Lord. And he shall slay the lamb in the place where he shall kill the sin offering and the burnt offering in the holy place. For as the sin offering is the priest's, so is the trespass offering, it is most holy. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil, and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle of the oil with his finger 7 times before the Lord. And the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. And the remnant of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall pour upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord. And the priest shall offer the sin offering, and make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed from his uncleanness. And afterward he shall kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the meat offering upon the altar. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take 1 lamb for a trespass offering to be waved, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to get. And the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. And he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing unto the priest unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And he shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour of the oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before the Lord. And the priest shall put of the oil that is in his hand upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before the Lord. And he shall offer the one of the turtle doves, or of the young pigeons, such as he can get. Again, anyway, for the poor man, that'd be like me right now if that was the case. Anyway, verse 31, even such as he is able to get, the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, with the meat offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed before the Lord. This is the law of him in whom is the plague of leprosy, whose hand is not able to get that which pertaineth to his cleansing. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when ye be come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession, and he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, it seemeth to me there is as it were a plague in the house. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it to see the plague, that all that is in the house be not made unclean, and afterward the priest shall go in to see the house. And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house with hollow strakes, greenish or reddish, which in sight are lower than the wall, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house, and shut up the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again the 7th day, and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city, and he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off without the city into an unclean place. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall plaster the house. And if the plague come again and break out in the house, after that he hath taken away the stones, and after he hath scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house, it is unclean. And he shall break down the house, the stones of it, and the timber thereof, and all the mortar of the house, and he shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he that goeth into the house, all the while that it is shut up, shall be unclean until the even. And he that lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that eateth in the house shall wash his clothes. And if the priest shall come in and look upon it, and behold, the plague hath not spread in the house, after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. And he shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop, and he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water, and he shall take the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. But he shall let go the living bird out of the city into the open fields, and make an atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is the law for all manner of plague of leprosy and scall, and for the leprosy of a garment and of a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach them when it is unclean, and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. Whew. Okay. I'm looking at the chat here now.
Welcome to Sister Carrie.
Yep.
Welcome to Brother Tex that just joined us.
Oh, welcome, Shalom. Tex here. How you doing, buddy? Okay. I want to talk about a few things here. Scald or scaly, basically, it's a skin disease. Okay, it's like a scab, from what I know of the medical field. And I'm also looking at something here, and you got to kind of, like we call it scally now, This is King James. It's kind of archaic. You also have the that I've been reading about the leprosy, and I already told you it exposes sin somehow, as well as literal leprosy is there. I mean, you can have somebody get leprosy today, and that may or may not have anything to do with their sins. And we're looking at this, and this is on a practical level, is good medical advice. How detailed they need to be, keeping things separated and quarantined, and that. There were other nations that were so diseased and filthy and disgusting, repugnant. And I think some, if I'd have to look in the history again, were irrigating themselves out of existence, ladies and gentlemen. Just, so there's good reason. I doubt, and I'm only speculating, when I say I doubt the regular Israelites really understood it. Because, from what I can read, they weren't told why. More than likely, and I'm speculating again, but more than likely, Moshe, Aharon, Miriam, their sister, they probably understood it. Okay, so, and probably the priests, Aaron's sons. And they had to keep a lid on that stuff, right? Anyway, let's go to chapter 15. How many verses we have? 33 only. Okay, chapter 15. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean. And this shall be his uncleanness in his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue, or his flesh be stopped from his issue, it is his uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lieth, he that hath the issue is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat that hath the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And he that toucheth the flesh of him that hath the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And if he that hath the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And what saddle soever he rideth upon that hath the issue shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth anything that was under him shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth any of those things shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whomsoever he toucheth that hath the issue, and hath not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And the vessel of earth that he toucheth, which hath the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. And he that hath an issue is cleansed. And when he that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be unclean. And on the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and come before the Lord unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give them unto the priest. See, again, we get this 8th day is very symbolic, and really it will be literal for those of us who endure, folks. Verse 15, and the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord for his issue. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, and be unclean until the even. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until even. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the even. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, And whosoever toucheth her shall be clean until the even. And every living thing that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And if it be on her bed, or anything whereon she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean until the even. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation, she shall be unclean. Every bed whereon she lieth all the days of her issue shall be unto her as the bed of her separation, and whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean as the uncleanness of her separation. And whosoever toucheth those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take unto her 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, and bring them unto the priest to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her before the Lord for the issue of her uncleanness. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness when they defile my tabernacle that is among them. That is the law of him that hath an issue, and of him whose seed goeth from him, and is defiled therewith, and of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that hath an issue, of the man and of the woman, and of him that lieth with her, that is unclean. All right, that's all 33 verses of Leviticus chapter 15.
Welcome to Gangster
Talks. Yeah, Gangster Ghost, Gangster Talks.
Podcast.
Yeah. Okay. How you doing, gangster? Okay, I'm just looking at things here. Anyway. All right, now we have 34 verses of Leviticus chapter 16. Let's get this done, folks. And the Lord spake unto Moses after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they offered before the Lord and died. And the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil before the mercy seat which is upon the ark, that he die not. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin, and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with a linen girdle, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments, therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on. And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 for ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take away the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. All right. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat. And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which the Lord's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell to be the scapegoat, shall be presented alive before the Lord to make an atonement with him, and to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off the altar before the Lord, and his hands full of sweet incense beaten small, and bring it within the veil. And he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, that he die not. And he shall take of the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward, and before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering, that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions and all their sins. And so shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation that remaineth among them in the midst of their uncleanness. And there shall be no man in the tabernacle of the congregation when he goeth in to make an atonement in the holy place, until he come out and have made an atonement for himself and for his household and for all the congregation of Israel. And he shall go out unto the altar that is before the Lord, and make an atonement for it, and shall take of the blood of the bullock and of the blood of the goat, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about. And he shall sprinkle of the blood upon it with his fingers 7 times, and hallow it from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. And when he hath made an end of reconciling the holy place and the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities unto a land not inhabited. And he shall let the goat, and he shall let go the goat in the wilderness. And Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall put off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall wash his flesh with water in the holy place, and put on his garments, and come forth, and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make an atonement for himself and for the people. And the fat of the sin offering shall he burn upon the altar. And he that let go the goat for the scapegoat shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward come into the camp. And the bullock for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall one carry forth without the camp. And they shall burn in the fire their skins and their flesh and their dung. And he that burneth them shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. You want me to? Oh, you already did? Oh, yeah, you did. Verse 29. And this shall be a statute forever unto you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, he shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country, or a stranger that sojourneth among you. For on that day shall be the priest. For on that day shall the priest make an atonement for you, to cleanse you, that ye may be clean from all your sins before the Lord. It shall be a Sabbath of rest unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls by a statute forever. Before we're going to verse 32, say afflict your souls, observe what you did, examine yourself. Paul gets into that later. Yeah? So, doesn't mean you need to torture yourself or anything like that, but you need to closely examine yourself and work out your salvation, folks.
Amen.
All right. Verse 32. And the priest whom ye shall anoint, and whom ye shall consecrate to minister in the priest's office in his father's stead, shall make the atonement and shall put on the linen clothes, even the holy garments, and he shall make an atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he shall make an atonement for the tabernacle of the congregation and for the altar, and he shall make an atonement for the priests and for all the people of the congregation, and this shall be an everlasting statute unto you to make an atonement for the children of Israel for all their sins once a year. And he did as the Lord commanded Moses. All right. I'm looking at things here. I better plug this back in. Come on. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, it's a new beginning, a new Bereshith, a new Genesis. That's, the number 8. It's in there a lot in the Tanakh, ladies and gentlemen. I should probably do a teaching on that. It's been years since I've done
that's why
a video.
Our title of this channel is Bereshith.
Bereshith Farm. Yeah. Kind of a new beginning in this present state yet, but anyway, we got to get to chapter 17. Let's do the 16 verses there. And after 17, before I do 18, I'm going to have to take a minute to relieve myself. I'm about dying now. Yeah. There you go, Wilfred. All right, chapter 17. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded, saying, What man soever there be of the house of Israel that killeth an ox or lamb or goat in the camp, or that killeth it out of the camp, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, to offer an offering unto the Lord before the tabernacle of the Lord, blood shall be imputed unto that man. He hath shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people. Let me click this out. Okay. Verse 5. To the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices, which they offer in the open field, even that they may bring them unto the Lord, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, and offer them for peace offerings unto the Lord. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar of the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and burn the fat for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. And thou shalt say unto them, Whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or the strangers which sojourn among you, that offereth a burnt offering or sacrifice, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer it unto the Lord, even that man shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or one of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from his among his people. See, before going to verse 11, my tongue went awry again. Again, the stranger, someone who was never originally in the 12 tribes, but did get in. Same consequences, good or bad. All right?
Oh, man, you're funny.
Well, I need more teeth again.
Well, when we get to the kingdom, he won't have to cut his toenails no more, and you won't have to have your teeth gone.
What are you talking? Who cut his toenails?
Wilford.
You guys are going back. You guys are going back and forth. Okay, verse 11. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, No soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or the strangers that shall sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof, and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh, the blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. And every soul that eateth that which died of itself, or that which was torn with beasts, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Then shall he be clean. But if he wash them not, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. Folks, that's all 16 verses of Leviticus chapter 17. Give me a couple minutes. Drink too much coffee here and water or tea.
All of the above.
Oh.
It's showtime.
Yeah. Had to blow my nose too.
Yippery bobbies. It's showtime,
Okay.
Brother Tex.
Oh, okay. Yes, definitely. We need concubines. They are very important. They are very vital. They are essential. And frankly, they're imperative. Right, Deb?
All right, Mr. Como.
Hey, this is Wilfred, man. He's influencing me.
Yeah, Levi wants to get his. I know where you sleep at night whenever you decide to go to bed.
Well, it's only right that the concubine knows then, too.
All right, Merle. Now.
But we do have one more chapter to read, do some talking, and get those videos.
You got Craig laughing.
And we get those videos going.
Yep, he's going to do some major studies tonight.
Okay, let's do all 30 verses here of Leviticus chapter 19. Or I'm sorry, all 30 verses of Leviticus chapter 18. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall you walk in their ordinances. You shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. The nakedness of thy father, the nakedness of thy mother, thou shalt not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. I think pretty much all you know what they mean by this. I don't have to say it that directly. For incest and that. Anyway, verse 8. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister, She is thy father's near kinswoman. Before we go on to verse 13, somebody should contact Ilhan Omar from my home state of the 5th Congressional District, of Minnesota. She needs to read this. Anyway, verse 13. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. She is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. She is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her lifetime. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her, and thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with mankind. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you, and the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. Again, they're including the people that were adopted in, ladies and gentlemen. Verse 27, for all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. That the land spew not you out also when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall ye keep mine ordinance, that ye commit not any one of these abominable customs which were committed before you, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am the Lord your God. That's all 30 verses of chapter 18 of Leviticus. We got through 6 chapters here today. Keep it zipped up. Oh, that's
yeah. Read between the lines.
Well, I was trying to finish the reading, and you're.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
No, you're not. And blueberry muffin time. Well, at least my crowd has some of them have a similar sense of humor as I do.
Well, speaking of blueberry muffins,
don't worry.
Next year, we're going to get about 6 different types of blueberry bushes.
Okay.
And I'm going to be into the preserves and muffins.
Everybody rest assured, my concubines will not have any relation to me. They won't have any relations to Deb, I don't think.
Welcome, Daniel.
Welcome and shalom to Daniel, who's searching and seeking the truth.
Amen.
You get now. I don't need a hip replacement. Guarantee you. It's my cataracts that I need. And yes, I need a new set of teeth. I'll give you that much. But
no, Daniel, that's me that got a hip replacement.
She's the one who had the hip replacement.
Get another
I still run. I can still run like a rabbit when I'm awake enough.
I still need to get my spine fixed, so on, etc.
Yeah.
That's me.
I think Daniel should help me to find us a rich concubine. No, just kidding. Welcome though, Daniel. Wilfred found out the other day that most blueberry muffins, if not all, sold in grocery stores are not made with blueberries, made from insects and flavoring them food coloring.
Yeah, yummy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have Jesus now. Just need to get you up to that next level, Dan. Okay, that next level. I don't know. It'll be a tough road, but I don't tap out really too easily. Okay.
Time for the
castor oil. We don't even have any castor oil, do we? I think we had some at one time. I could try that. I've heard about that remedy before for the eyes.
Yeah.
Do we have any? Are we out? No, we don't have any. Okay.
Well, I do know this. He needs some clothespins to hold his eyes open to watch them videos and read them articles tonight, buddy.
Yeah,
He stays up all night anyway until the crack of cock-a-doodle-doo. So.
Yeah, I know what it's for. Okay, though, moving on, folks, to things. I am doing more research on the Noahide laws. Just so you know. And there's a lot of stuff. I'll even bring up an AI deal. And I hate AI, as you know. No, it does. It confirms, because those of us who believe in Yeshua, Jesus, hold on a second. I'll put it up on the screen. Just let me get it up here. Let me get up on Google.
Vaseline and cucumber. Well, we try to stay away from the petroleum jelly because it's petro now. Petroleum jelly is petro and pig fat. Amen there, Wilford.
Wait a minute. It's giving me a different answer now.
Yep.
Hold on. Let's try that again. I just had it last night. Okay, now they're going to give a real long explanation. I'll put it up for you, like I said, just so you can see it. And then I'm going to do two different ones, actually. In the Noahide laws, the answer depends heavily on the specific legal interpretation. While some traditional Jewish authorities, such as Maimonides, Rambam, I've read their stuff in the past, rule that worshiping Jesus as God is idolatry and therefore a capital offense for non-Jews. Other respected authorities view it as permissible for non-Jews, so they're getting into that. Now, when you look into Islam, right? Or no, this is still some late Jewish rabbis, theologians. Maimonides held that the prohibition against idolatry applies to all humanity. In his code, the Mishnah Torah, I've read that too. Hilkot Malachim, he ruled that a non-Jew who worships false gods or associates other beings with the Creator is liable for the death penalty, typically by decapitation. Under this interpretation, claiming Jesus is God would be considered a violation. Well, I've had Jewish Orthodox Jews in the past cuss me out for this because I believe that.
You should get them links that I've sent out for the.
No, I will not. Will you let me alone?
No, I'm saying the article.
I see. You just can't get it. I'm trying to do something here. People are going to get mad at me because I have to put you in your place. Now knock it off.
Thank you.
I hate having to do that in front of the crowd, but you just. Why do you keep doing that? I've lost subbers over that in the past, if you remember. She don't care. So. Okay, they're saying. Hold on. Do they have it? Yeah, they have it. Okay. Islam considers believing that Jesus is God or ascribing divinity to any prophet to be shirk, the gravest sin. However, simply holding this belief privately does not make an individual punishable by death in Islam. Historically, Orthodox scholars differentiated between private belief and public advocacy. For a non-Muslim, adhering to Christianity and the belief in Jesus as God is permitted under Islamic rule. Historically, such citizens were protected and paid a tax. For a Muslim, openly and explicitly renouncing Islam to profess the divinity of Yeshua or Jesus is considered apostasy. In classical Islamic jurisprudence, which heavily relied on certain hadith texts, this was seen as an act of treason that historically carried a death penalty. However, this classical legal position is heavily contested today. Many modern, progressive, and reformist Islamic scholars argue that the death penalty for apostasy was meant only for political treason in early Islamic history and does not apply to a change of personal faith. Furthermore, mainstream Quranic verses stipulate there is no compulsion in religion, asserting that the judgment for one's beliefs is reserved for God in the afterlife. Okay. So it kind of goes back and forth. But the way they're starting to get so brazen now in our own country, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for the operation. 2 years ago when I had an eye examination, got these updated. I wasn't ready. The optometrist told me they're not advanced enough to where you can do an operation. And I said, well, are they really affecting me, though, my eyesight? He wouldn't answer me. Kind of upset me. Look, give me a yes or a no. Or, if you're not for sure, but give me your speculation, your educated opinion. I didn't say that, but I did notice when I used to have a vehicle, one night, it was late at night, it was dark because of the clouds and it was raining, and I was having a very difficult time. I had to ask Deb if I was even in the middle of the road. Now, even though I don't have a vehicle, if I had one in the day or at night with the moon out and some stars, yeah, I'm fine, I think. I have no problem, definitely in the daytime, that I can tell. Yeah, we do. I think we're even out of that right now there, Dan.
What?
Extra virgin olive oil. We usually get a lot of that.
Yeah, stuff. We got beef tallow now.
Yeah, we got beef tallow that we're using for our eggs right now to eat, to fry up or scramble up.
Which, thank goodness, that's free. We get that out of the. We get our butt nuggets for our chickens.
I'm not going to test it that way, Daniel. What we do though is I learned, how you get the right virgin olive oil, that it's not fake. Is how did we do that?
Glass bottle, put it in the refrigerator.
Glass bottle, put it in the refrigerator, take it out. And if it has a film to it, like a cloudy.
No, if it solidifies.
If it solidifies or not. If it does not, I think we're good, right? So. No. If it solidifies, it's good. Yes. If it doesn't, it's crap.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. But we know what kind to get for right now because we went through all of that. It's just been a while.
Yeah, we order ours.
But anyway, so you look at some of that, and I've got to get. Look, I was even looking at some rabbis, Jewish Orthodox rabbis, and a lot of them make it very clear that Jesus worshipers and whatever, who keep people who keep Yeshua as their Mashiach, they have to. They need to be executed. They don't, Some of them are pretty straight up about it, which I appreciate the honesty, but just shows me what to watch out for. I mean, I know my Jewish counterparts pretty well anyway. And watching on some Noahide laws, and evidently November 26th to the 28th, they're going to have a deal in the state of Israel. Of the Noahide laws and that. And keep in mind, too, they're mixing in Sharia law with the Noahide laws. Think about it. They're slowly taking over places with political positions and high up positions, whether it's medical or CEO of some business, and that's how you do it. And you get in the right people, and then you get the right police officers and deputy sheriffs, basically law enforcement. They've had a lot of years to get this going. I feel bad for the Dearborn, Michigan residents. Yeah, I know. No, it's a good point, Daniel. So, okay, I'll let you guys hash that out. Let's have some fun here. We'll do these first couple of videos on Mr. Burgundy. Good old Hunter Biden. He's only like a year younger than me. All right. What a jackass.
Earth's best new big kid snacks are baked with good stuff. So whatever their next adventure.
For real about this.
Okay.
Is this? I don't think that Donald Trump is gay or even bi-curious. What I think
a little bi-curious.
No. What I think Donald Trump is he is has a narcissism to the extreme.
You have a firm grasp of the obvious.
And in his age now, when he sees a man that is just so physically beautiful, he has to talk about it because he envies it. He envies it.
He is the smartest man I know. I mean, for the pure intellectual capacity.
Like, what's his name? Jackson Dart. Like, oh my God, you're a specimen. Like, you're an amazing. Like, look at those abs, man. Look at those abs, man.
How ironic.
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J.
LL Cool J.
By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs.
That's not saying a lot.
By the way, I very much worry about this guy's biceps. His biceps are big as my calf. Look at this. There's a man. I hope we're on the same side.
He's Russian.
I don't care who he is. He's got some real biceps.
Look at those abs, man.
You notice you put the guy with the 18-inch biceps right in the middle. I tell you, if I have your biceps, I feel better. You still have those biceps. He's got biceps about as big as my calves. I wish you'd work on your biceps a little bit. But my problem is your biceps are a little small.
TMI? Too much information.
Mr. Brian is a trainer. He's a Queensbridge.
I tell you what, man. That man's got some guns.
That's right. No more guns.
No. I mean, these guns. These guns. This guy's got guns as big as my thigh. He got some guns on him.
Hey, man, that is just so physically beautiful.
And Andre Jackson Jr. present you with that UConn jersey. You don't want him posting you up.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
I gotta fill those guns, Mr. Levite.
I'm old now.
Hey, still got
Actually,
'em.
you know, I hate to admit this, but before I put on the next video, Trump is narcissistic. And I have to agree with that with Hunter Biden involved dumb things.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that. Anyway, let's put on this one.
10 wings, $10. At Zach.
The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election. And the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world.
That's exactly what we did.
Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden.
Oh, my God.
Official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press.
Bunch of bitches.
Any country, no matter who it is, that interferes in American elections will pay a price. They will pay a price. Don't. And it's been overwhelmingly clear this election, I won't even get into the last one, this election, that Russia has been involved, China has been involved to some degree, and now we learn that Iran is involved. They will pay a price if I'm elected. They're interfering with American sovereignty.
They're interfering with American sovereignty.
It's funny you should say that.
And breaking news, U.S. officials are monitoring a giant spy balloon flying over the country. They say it was sent by the Chinese, and this isn't the first time they have done this.
They're interfering with American sovereignty.
It entered the United States at the Aleutian Islands, and then it flew over parts of Alaska, re-entered the United States at Idaho, but went over Montana, where Malmstrom Air Force Base is, and other sites that have nuclear missile silos.
They don't skate.
The U.S. military tracked the device for 1 week, before it drifted across the continental U.S.
They're interfering with American sovereignty.
Last week, in the immediate aftermath of the incursion by China's high-altitude balloon, our military, through the North American Aerospace Defense Command, so-called NORAD, closely scrutinized
for 1 week.
Our airspace.
What a joke!
And just as critically, we acted out of an abundance of caution and an opportunity that allowed us to take down these objects safely.
They will pay a price.
We seek competition, not conflict with China. We're not looking for a new Cold War. But I make no apologies. I make no apologies, and we will compete.
You believe this senile horse shit?
Let me just ask you this first. Do we know definitively yet whether or not that spy balloon was flying over the continental U.S. intentionally?
It is almost not relevant once it was over the United States.
They will pay a price.
You're embarrassing yourself, you geriatric.
Yeah. Golly.
Well,
Oh, man.
I remember that don't part two. I'm going to get the next video on. But I remember that when Biden said, don't talk. And that's when Iran was getting ready to attack Israel. And they did it anyway. Did Biden do anything? No, he really couldn't.
We said it 3 times. Don't.
Whatever.
Don't.
I mean, where's that other one?
Oh, man.
Here we are. Okay. Hold on. Here's the thing, and this is all serious, don't get me wrong, but this is a lot more serious than, well, as far as right directly inside our country, because Paul Pelosi got a hit and run. And for one thing, I know Trump does not have the sack to deal with this. Uh-oh, something's going on here. Oh, come on. I better reboot or refresh.
Nancy and her husband.
Okay. Now, that being said, and he's been drunk before and gotten away with it because he is who he is. He's the hubby of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, obviously. They do inside stock trading. We all know it. I mean, not only Nancy, but these people make, Warren Buffett look like an amateur. He should be taking lessons from them if they're doing it honestly, which obviously is not the case. Okay, text. Anyway, but this is ludicrous. Let's get this moving, shall we?
Nancy and her husband, Paul Pelosi, are drunks, and they're in their 80s. And so their ability to handle alcohol has diminished severely. They appear drunk in public often, like this. Exciting moment. That was at a funeral, Nancy. Could you just hold it together for a funeral? That's right. Banger of the summer. It's funny when Nancy Pelosi does it. It's less funny when Paul Pelosi's drunk because Paul Pelosi doesn't have a driver. And this is the body cam footage of Paul Pelosi after he hit somebody in Napa Valley. You could what was Paul Pelosi doing driving at 3 a.m.? No one's quite sure. But Paul Pelosi tries to bribe the cops. He hits a illegal alien, farm worker. They have a mansion out in the middle of Napa Valley. They own their own vineyard, of course. This is how rich elitist Democrats in California launder their money next to the French Laundry, aptly named. Well, anyway, here's Paul Pelosi trying to bribe the cops, saying, I'm an important person.
Draw any negative attention to you. If you've been honest with me, there's really nothing that you should be worried about in terms of the alcohol you consume. If you've been honest with me about your consumption being only two glasses of alcohol.
Yeah, but the police, to their credit, didn't really buy his excuses and he had a couple.
Paul Pelosi failed a sobriety test after smashing into this vehicle. And then he lied to the cops. And then he told the cops that he's too famous to go to jail. And you know what? He didn't go to jail. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that how it all works? So anyway, it looks like he might go to jail this time because Paul Pelosi did it all over again. The Napa County District Attorney has officially filed a misdemeanor charge against Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband for smashing into a vehicle in the middle of the day. He was blackout drunk. According to the complaint, Pelosi hit a parked vehicle and then plowed it up under the curb.
News alert, Paul Pelosi just got hit with new charges. Misdemeanor hit and run and an infraction for an illegal turn. The Napa DA, Allison Haley, hey, Allie, filed them herself this afternoon. This is the Tesla he allegedly creamed before taking off on July 4th weekend on a quiet block in Yountville, Napa, a couple doors down from the French Laundry. Hey, Gav. A witness says he plowed into a parked Tesla so hard it shoved the tire up onto the curb. Didn't leave a note, kept going until his own car finally gave out.
Okay. Don't worry, he wasn't drinking. How does Nancy Pelosi react to this? This is pretty amazing. And Nancy Pelosi had a shrieking on-camera, angry rampage, and she's been known to do this, by the way. Nancy Pelosi hates it when you ask her unauthorized questions.
talk to the president about. We don't do this all.
Do you believe that?
I never do. I never do, so it's nothing new.
I understand that, Speaker. Do you believe that him waiting so long to make this decision is
I'm
harming the
not
party?
making any comments in the hallway about the fate of our nation. Okay?
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
I'm not.
Watch this.
I'm not speaking English to you. I'm not going to be making any statements about.
It's my favorite. Nancy Pelosi's so low-key racist. She goes to this, I don't know, brown girl. I don't know where she's from, but she goes, "Am I speaking English to you?" Pelosi hates it when you ask her an unauthorized question. And that's exactly what happened here. Speaker Pelosi gets asked a question about Paul's hit and run misdemeanor, and a staffer comes in and stops everyone and shrieks. Listen to this.
How is Paul doing since the accident? How's the accident that happened?
Thank
The
you.
reports are saying it was a hit and run. How's he doing? And do you think he'll avoid jail time?
That's enough.
It's just a question. It's reported widely in the news. I was just asking what she thinks.
Oh, she can barely get into her car. She can't get into her car. They're so feeble. They're so frail.
The accident.
Look at these staffers.
The accident that happened.
Look at all these Look at these people. Look at these people. These are the people that want to run your government. This is an occupied government. This is an occupied wildebeest government. And she screams, "That's enough!" at the reporter.
A hit and run. How's he doing? And do you think he'll avoid jail time?
That's enough. That's not up for you to say. Look how entitled these people are. You ever said "that's enough" at a Golden Corral? Don't think so. They're so entitled. I mean, like, how dare you scream at a reporter? That's enough. Nancy Pelosi is one of the single most powerful insider trading, corrupt politicians. She deserves every bit of this. She can't get into her vehicle, though. Here, like, watch with the sound off. Just watch this. Does this seem like a healthy person? She can barely get into her car. She's a cripple. She's running for re-election. Don't you worry. Nancy Pelosi sidesteps questions about her husband Paul's hit and run. This is the second biggest traffic scrape in recent years. Paul smashed into a parked Tesla in Napa County and fled the scene. Cops caught up with him. "I hit something, but I kept driving." Nancy dodged the questions. Rules for me not to. "I hit something and kept driving." He said he didn't know he hit something. Look at this. Look at the bumper. It's ripped clean off. Smashed the car up into the... I have a Tesla. I drive a Tesla. It's a sturdy vehicle. Very sturdy American-made vehicle. Smashed right up into the... And then his car broke down because he harmed his car. No doubt some type of fluid leak, right, is what you would probably get if you hit the front of your car. I don't know what kind of car he drives. But you get some type of fluid leak, and so his car was inoperable because he hit this car so bad. It's amazing. So we can't pass the SAVE Act to secure our elections, but every member wholeheartedly agrees, blowing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on getting Nancy Pelosi a chauffeur everywhere. Speaker Nancy Pelosi runs away from questions. When are we going to stop putting the focus on Nancy Pelosi? This isn't her time to shine. The focus needs to be on her husband, mental health advocacy, elder care, questioning somebody who isn't able to take advantage of the system, and place blame everywhere else, shrouded in cloak of secret. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we have the Nancy Pelosi stands. I didn't know that those existed. That's nice to see. Hit and run by a member of an elite family is treated as a misdemeanor. Nancy is still dodging the issue. This isn't a rule of law. It's a double standard. We looked this up. If you were to do a hit and run in California, then you might face 10 years in prison, depending on how damaging it was. If someone was hurt, if they can claim injury, then it'd be the end of your life. Speaking of injury, Nancy Pelosi almost injured a reporter.
The Sixth Committee will find you liable for that day.
Who was asking questions of January 6th.
Day. Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
The hamming it up to the camera is my favorite part of all of that. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, keep asking Nancy Pelosi questions. And if you hear the Pelosi's are in the area, get the hell off the streets. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.
Anyway, give me a minute here. I'll go ahead and get that tape off. All right. What can you say? Well, President Trump offered that to her to do. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty serious. Rules for thee, not for me. You all know that. And not really a lot to say on it. So I've been watching the pattern over the many, years, as in a few decades. And I've mentioned this before. I remember when John Ankerberg, and I don't know what he's doing these days, but when Ankerberg used to have these nice, friendly discussions between Christian theologians and Muslim theologians or scholars, imams, I think or imams is what they call them. Everybody's so nice and friendly to each other, but what are you going to do? So that being said, I mean, it's not that friendly anymore. They're taking over. I'm like UK, our predecessor, Brother Brits, they're pretty much done. We're getting there. I don't see it slowing down. I don't see Trump having the sack to do anything. I'm sure he'll, Trump is a texting fool. I mean, on what, Truth Social, his deal. He used to be that way on back then Twitter, now called X. And when they took him off, he could have gotten back on, but he chose to stay just with Truth Social, I think. But he have plenty to text on Paul Pelosi. That I have no doubt. But is anything going to really happen? No. I can tell you about a time. I think it was in 2003, if I remember correctly. This guy's long gone now. He died of some kind of throat cancer or lung cancer. I don't know, whatever it was. Bill Janklow. He had a lot of positions in the state of South Dakota. I was living in Sioux Falls at the time. I think he did 2 separate terms of governor. One, because there's some states you can be a governor forever if they want to keep voting for you. Some you can't. South Dakota, you can do 2 4-year terms for 8 years, and then you have to take 4 years off. I think he did it twice. I'd have to look to be sure, but if I'm right, he was governor. Hey, buddy, now you can bother me. He was governor for 16 years. I think 2 4-year terms, took time off, came back and did it. I think he was South Dakota Attorney General before that. But after he was governor and he had to take another 4 years off, he ran for Congress and he won. And he was on his way somewhere going 78 to 80 miles per hour, and he ran through a stop sign, didn't even slow down. And a man named Randy Scott was with his motorcycle there in South Dakota going back to his home state, my home state, Minnesota. And Congressman, former Governor Bill Janklow ran right into, made him fly I don't know how many feet, killed him instantly. And he ended up getting 100 days of jail time and 3 years of probation. So he went back to his law practice until he got too sick or whatever. And then while he was in, and he didn't go to jail right away after the sentence. He had some time to get his ducks in a row, get things in order, and then go to jail. And he went to court one time after that, thinking he should have his sentence lessened. And the judge said no. Good thing it wasn't me being judge. I would have given him more years of probation, and I would have given him more days in jail. But that's just, I'm not going to sit here and fantasize about it. But he was a big wig, and he got away with it. Basically, it's in the history books, like it is with the late Senator Ted Kennedy. When his secretary drowned and died. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, and we have to lean on the Lord to get these judgments to him, hand them down to him, whether it's in this life and the next, or at least one of them in the next. So that being, it's just Trump has no sack to get involved. I mean, when a judge orders against one of his deals, he cries like a little b-boy and goes to a higher court or whatever, or, you know, even up to the Supreme Court of the land. And, you know, and for that matter, now he's protecting billionaire pedos, chomos, and it's really frustrating. You know, there's so many people walking around as criminals because of their positions or whatever, and they're not really elites. They're higher up than you and I, but, you know, some of these congressional men and women, some of these senators and that, you would think Trump, you know, Trump could take emergency powers and do that. But then again, he may not be able to have the capacity to meet them out correctly and start doing it on more people than he should. Who knows? So I try to be patient. I pray about it. But what I'm doing is I'm working on some things, and Deb is bombarding me. She sends from the bedroom to my cell phone here videos and articles and stuff, and she ends up really so I can look at things, read them, and watch them, and I'm going to be doing some things on the no-hide laws, on the what do you call it, Sharia law, and that, and it's not looking good, folks. And I'm just trying to get you informed, and you could decide how you want to take this in prayer, and how you might want to possibly prepare for it. We're trying. We're just doing the best we can do, and we're getting the info out there, take it or leave it. So, but look, I really appreciate you people. Again, I always say this, and I do mean it. You know, you stuck with me. I read Leviticus chapters 13 through 18, and God willing, tomorrow we'll read Leviticus chapters 19 through 24, and we'll see what we can do. And maybe, you know, now if I do this thing, or I will do this sometime, God willing, anyway, I'll do do my own live stream version of what's going on with the no-hide laws and the rabbis and that, and how the rabbis think it's an excellent thing that the Muslims are taking over, because they're doing it with numbers. They have multiple wives. They have many children. They've had many years to do this, that we've let them get away with it. I'm not against polygyny even in and of itself. That's not my problem. That's not my issue with it. But you know, we need to get this all going and moving, and get the information out there. And, you know, these Muslims think it's funny, and you even listen to some of the rabbis talking. They're all for it, because they want to be the one, the Zionists want to be the one to really take over and run the show. And what's really stupid about that, folks, they're the minority number-wise. We shouldn't have to put up with this. But people are too divided, which they've done. Look how much, I mean, think about it. We weren't divided back before 2020. We were divided. We were not that unified back before 2020. But look at it compared to the scamdemic that happened in 2020, how much more severe it's gotten. Welcome, Shalom, to Flash Thompson. I think I remember you. I think you've been here. Weren't you with me years ago, if I'm right on that? How you doing? If I remember correctly, that's looking really familiar to me. I did like 3,000 videos or something crazy like that before I deleted them all, and took a few years off. But that being said, I really don't have a lot more to say. I do want to get Elohim's Debar, as in God's word, out. A real human being doing it. I think that's vital. It's very important. And I want us to come together more with the right beliefs. You know, some are more grown and mature, further along than others. I may not be the most mature one. I know I make a lot of jokes. I was kind of giving Daniel a hard time today on his panel a little bit here and there with jokes. Oh, yeah. Was that Living Messiah Ministries, maybe? With David Webb? I bet it was. Yeah, I bet it was. I used to really like that place. We had to leave Phoenix on emergency back in 2019. But anyway, let me know before I sign off here. Again, folks, thank you for coming. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate this. Stick with me on this as long as we can, and pray for one another and that. So I'll tell you what. I'll tell Deb to look for an email. If you're willing to email us, maybe we can exchange phone numbers there, Flash. But rather than ramble on, I do really need to get off this stuff and do some things. And I am going to finish watching that cheesy, stupid movie. I like cheesy, stupid movies. I got about an hour left on it, on Rare Films or something like that. But I'm going to finish watching that cheesy movie, and then I'm going to get going to get this research done and that. So pray for me that I get out that I find out accurate information. I'm not here to mislead anybody. All right, folks. You take care. You keep your heads on your swivels. Peace. Shalom. The Levite man is out of here till next time. Later.